Okay, this is the section that it's long, it's drawn out. It's for the board members to really do. It's just a general outline. The board members, you guys will, of course, and gals will go over this and do it your way. Section 2, 4A, basic protocols, flips. 1, minimum requirements. Well, they must be a business, a bed and breakfast. I keep saying adult town. Think of all the desert and rural communities out there that could throw up a barn and create a hoedown kind of environment. But yes, indeed, that's what it'll be. If it's in a city of 250,000 or more, then you're looking at being next to like an adult bookstore or a dance place, stripper place. If those places move, then the flips has to move. Application package. It's a 100 non-refundable application for the flips and another one per room. We're here to soak this. You're doing this for America, the kids, and the good of all. Cough it up. Don't be cheap. So it's kind of like in Jurassic Park. Dotson, I hear Dotson. Come on, Dotson. Oh, don't be cheap on me now, Dotson. That's what it goes to. Of course, they're going to have to show $1 million bond, which they probably showed when they got their license in the first place. $250 per flip strips room. Annual inspection fee. These are known as perennial economic revenues fees, or PERS. $20 per month times 12 months for pop-in access on the pop-in computer system. That's a $20 a month line, so it comes to $240 a month. So you got 100, 240, and 250 is 590 total per room, plus another 590 total for the facility. The one thing I want to get on, I'm going to tell this to the board members over and over again, we could really make a whole lot of money for the country if we made it. United States Attorney General, listen to this one, make it so that from now on all that porn pop-up worldwide is gone. If they want to subscribe to the pop-in themselves as service providers, then they can put their porn pop-up on the pop-in. Other than that, it is a felony, and they can go to the pen. So background checks. Number 3, United States Department of Justice. That's why they get so much money. The POP will be naturally communicating back and forth with them, doing background checks and whatnot, and as you'll see in revenues later on, NCIS, NCIC, and a whole bunch of other people are getting money out of this too. Annual inspections. Everybody, already as a business, they're getting hit by fire and building and possibly health. The rooms will be inspected for health. The POP will also send inspectors, and possibly the Department of Justice might want to poke their nose into it as well. We're going to definitely interface with law enforcement, sit down with them at a state, local, even federal level, as well as the health people, and figure out what we actually need to put into the POP application package. What kind of requirements are for you? I mean, we're dealing in flesh here and diseases and bodily fluids and all that, so we need to know. Communication requirements. Every room. This will come in the application package. It'll have security requirements for every tourist room, every flips itself, but every room must have a computer that is pop-in accessible. Every room. So those fees, they go per room, and we'll get into the protocols of why in a moment. As well, there should be at least 3 flips pop-in accessible computers out in what would be considered the lobby, if you will. And no matter what, the flip's head has to have one as well. That's his or her own very private access to the network. These computers in the lobby should have some privacy to them, maybe a cubicle type of thing. Nevertheless, they're there for a reason. We'll get into the protocols about it in a moment. And basically, it'd be preferred if they were about every 10 feet apart from the moment you walk in the lobby until you leave the lobby. For the purpose of safety as anything else. That's why the RIPs can get on that computer anytime from anywhere in that room and take care of business, even dial a certain code. We will be talking about security buttons, about safety buttons later on. So once again, like a safety area for the RIP or the RIPs in case of emergency. You never know. It's also there to take care of business and bring business to the flips and the RIPs, hence America et al. And once we go to the GoPop, the global office of Patriots of Pleasures, then to the world et al. Let's move on. So as we move along here, we're at number 6, notified, approved, or denied. We're going to notify them in the mail if they're approved or denied. If they're denied, their funds that they paid to date are non-refundable. We'll tell them why, though. We'll let them know why. On the other hand, if they are approved, we're going to tell them, look, it's time for training. This is what you're going to need. This is where you're going to show up. Everybody in the company, every company officer, every employee that's going to be a part of the flips must attend training. They must pay for it. Each one will be paying $250 for the training itself. And then they're going to have the $20 pop-in access fee per month per employee. A year in advance, so $240 a year in advance right there. So $490. Now, basically, the employers may, if they want, pay that for their employees, or they may charge it back to their employees. But they can't charge it back to their employees with interest or fees for loaning them the money or anything like that. They're not a bank. It's just a good faith kind of thing. There's also going to be a mechanism, as you'll see later on, where we know that employees jump from place to place to place, a lot of times within the same industry. They're specialists in their industry, a lot of times for the competition. So what we're going to do is we're going to charge those kind of employees a $100 reassignment fee, so they won't have to be retrained that year. But they have to be retrained every year once again. You know, every year everybody has to go through this, get brushed up and all that. So they show up for training, and they're going to learn stuff like, are they dealing with tricks? Are they dealing with tricks with diseases? They're going to learn how to make their web pages, get it all up. They're going to establish their room rates for the year. They're not going to be able to flex after that. They're going to, on some of the information they post online, it will relate to the flips for everybody. And then in other stuff, it's just going to be designated for rips and rips. So that way, you know, the rates, we don't want everybody to know the room rates. The rates are established, and that way, you know, the gals or guys that are working as the actual rips or rips, they have a little something to go on. That they can use as an incentive. Because their rates are capped, they can say, well, you know, you can see me in the fantasy room. You can see me here or see me there kind of thing. No, we got the hot tub room. We got this room or the wedding room or whatever in the world they want to go to, you know. So they can spend a little bit more, which makes their time worth, or their earnings for their money a little bit less. It's all up to them. Flips room rates cannot be over 150% of what the flips charged the year before as normal rates, retail rates, their advertised rates. And I'm not talking about rates with a discount, the actual retail rate. So if the room was $100 last year, it'll be $150. If they have one of those nice $300 rooms, well, then it'll be $450 is the cap that they can put on. They're not required to charge that much, but that is the option. They can bring it up there. We're about to get into cleaning requirements quite a bit. Basically, the rates are for 24 hours. They're not 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour per trick, per date, per date, per date. It's for 24 hours for the ripped rips. And they can have as many dates as they can book in there within the scope of their license. During this time, they'll be required to clean those rooms. They're required to come in after every trick and have those linens changed, have those towels changed. We want that place clean. So they're going to be given an option. We're going to get to it once again. But basically, they can hire maid service in between those dates, or they can ask the flip, you know, hey, can you throw enough linen over here in the closet, enough towels over here, so I can change them out myself. They can't be charged extra for the linens, only the maid service. And no matter what, at the end of the day, or the end of the 24-hour period, the flip still must clean the room at least once, using fresh linens, etc., without a charge back. You know, it's just common that you'd have to do that with the room anyways.